Let's look at a couple other features in Google Slides that make it a powerful presentation software piece. So the first thing we want to do is I want to talk about some of the different tools that we can access. So notice I can check spelling. I can also check this box, which should look familiar to you, which is our research tool. So one of the cool things about the Google Slides is that it has embedded research into there. So just like we did in the document demonstration, we can go back to our research piece, and just like before, we can take and we can begin to drag items from these different areas into into Google Slides here. So that's a real nice feature, that research tool there. So I encourage you to use that. I can also do some definitions and different things. So one of the other things that I can do that I think it becomes really powerful is I can share this. So just like I did with some of the other presentations or videos, I was able to share this document out. So if I type in students 5, I want student 5 to do this, and they can edit this. I click on send, it's going to send him or her an invite that shows or that lets them know that I've shared this with an individual. So let's think about this as a school. Let's say you're doing annual reports or different types of reports, and you want to include that or have that on one presentation. What you could technically do is share that with everybody that is going to contribute to that presentation. You could assign them a slide. So you say, Jeff, you have slide 1, John, you have slide 2, Jody, you have slide 3, and so on, and assign everybody a slide. So everybody can work on their own slide, but then you would have a presentation of all of those slides together. Now, one other thing that you need to know that you can do is, let's say you didn't want to do that, or you already started a project where everybody has their own slide presentation and they're creating their own slide. What you can do is I can actually come over here and I can copy this entire slide. So if I click on copy, I can go to a different presentation. In this case, I'm just going to go and open a new presentation. And what that does is that allows me to insert that slide into another presentation. So I can copy between presentations here very quickly and easily simply by going and clicking, right-clicking, copy, coming to the next presentation, right-click and paste, and that's going to paste that in. And just like any of these others, I can move that around just like the other presentations there. So very powerful, easy way of doing that. One other aspect of Google Slides that I want to show you is the ability to create some different types of slide presentations. So if I come back into here, I'm going to go back and create a new slideshow, and it's going to bring me to an untitled presentation. It's going to ask me for a theme. I click OK. If I come to page setup here, right now this is 16 by 9 size here. What I can do is I can actually come down here to a custom size. So I can actually say I want it to be, instead of 10 by 5, I want it to be 10 by 30. And so what you'll notice is that I have a nice big canvas here to create possibly maybe an infographic. So if I'm going to show you another slide, I just shared a slide presentation with myself here. It's called Google Slides. And notice that this is not your standard technology or your presentation. Notice that I've taken and created this a slide, one slide, individual slide that has lots of information in here for people to look at. So if I want to, I can come back in here. Notice that each one of these items here, each one of these items is an individual object that I added to this slide presentation here. But when you look at it, if I were to print that, it would be a nice looking, what I think is a nice looking infographic that somebody could use. So if you're looking for creative ways to have your students create things, that might be a great opportunity. The last thing I want to show you here in terms of it from a teacher's perspective is the commenting feature. So notice that I can click on comments. I can comment. I can actually come out here and say, this looks great. Looks great. If I can type and go from there. So again, if we built a presentation where everybody had their own slide, I could come out and I could comment on each one of those slides. Now, be aware that any comments that I made, everybody would be able to see if that was shared with them. So Google Slides, a very easy platform. One other piece here, let's say you create a presentation, but you're not going to be able to, somebody doesn't have Google Slides and have a Google account. I can very simply come up here to File, download as, and that allows me to download it as a PowerPoint presentation, as a PDF document, and other things. So simple, easy ways to use Google Slides in your classroom.